Who made something. Actually, I have done making your papers. The last few days, I was so busy making the papers, and khalas came over. So this time, the process is going to be a bit quick. Make it a bit more organized. Anyways, start doing this question, all of you, at 6:15. I'll be discussing this quick. Like I said that day, it's going to be one page, 1 million. That's what Nabi I was replying to Maria. This is a province paper. This is a Western province paper. Western province, grade 11, second term test. Is the exam easy or hard? Actually, I made the grade 11 paper first. So in grade 11 paper, I think MCQ is grade 11 is very easy. Then I started making the grade 10 paper. There was no questions I can include. So I guess grade 10 is harder than grade 11 is. Even though the number of chapters are less, because I was out of questions, I had to just make like questions go hard. Not so hard, but yeah. Like I would suggest you all after you're done with the paper to try the grade 10. It's interesting. Grade 11 is very easy. You change your words in both the classes. What words? You mean difficulty? Not decided yet. Let's see. Programming is harder than the whole grade 10 chapter. No. Actually, the fun fact in the paper I'm going to keep programming is going to be easiest question if you use your brains properly. The people who trust you and ask these questions are so stupid. The people who have got experienced knows how is it. Having choosing questions. Grade 11 has choosing questions. Grade 10 does not have choosing question. Is a paper like oral structure? No, the paper is not oral structure. The paper is term test structure. Choosing questions means MCQ. No, choosing questions means in part two, you have normally how your module goes is they'll give you 7 questions and they'll ask you to do the first question and along with that 4 other questions. So same structure is followed here. You'll be getting 7 questions. You have to do 5 questions. So you can skip 2 questions, something like that. That's what choosing question means. Why don't we discuss a paper you made? You will regret. If you discuss a paper I made, you will regret your life. I'm being honest. You can ask the people who did my papers. So that's why I thought this time let's not make that happen. Kill I compared to the last semester, this semester paper is easy. What's the reason? The last semester paper was more. It was more like a not the provincial paper. It was more like a proper semester paper. Then only I understood that y'all are not suitable for a semester paper. Y'all are only good for term papers. Like if you go to our school and all, if you see the papers, that's how the standard is. But then I thought it's too much for you. So I reduced the depth of the paper. I've been studying anything and everything to do your exam paper. Enjoy. It'll be easy, don't worry. Will you discuss the paper later? Yes. Once you're done with the paper, I'll discuss the paper. Maybe let's say on 19th, if you're done, we can start the discussion the following week. How do I efficiently study for my exam tomorrow? Do a past paper. That's how you study last moment. Last moment you can't buy heart. You just do the past paper and figure out how the questions would come. You consider about us. We are not up to that level. Not exact like that. It's just a testing which I did it all, experiment which I did it all. So I used you as a Baliade and I did an experiment. The experiment was successful, but the result was not so great. So that's why I was like, let's make the experiment also successful. The result also great. So did some modifications. Anyways, quick, all of you do have only 3 more minutes. If you are done with this question, raise your hands in the participants list. I can see 3 of them have raised. Others done means raise, please. Okay, 10 of 12 done, 13 done. Twenty-two is done. And by the way, I thought of starting doing something new every week. I'll let you all know at the later part of this session. One more minute. All of you are quick. Give me a minute. Okay, let's begin. So all of you can focus. But processing, it should not be is shown. What is the answer you all wrote? What is the tool we have in our word processing applications? So for example, word processing applications are we have Google Docs, Microsoft Word, all of them. What do you think have been used here? Okay. When you just look at it as a first glance, you might notice that it has been center aligned. You might have been noticed that it has been what do you call bold, the font size increase. But apart from all of them, tell me throughout the whole text, is the text looking completely like dark black, or can you see like those color variations? You can see this with the text we have here, here, here. It's like completely black. But here is it like a complete, the image quality is not so great. But by the image you look here, it's like a completely black. No. Actually, if you notice here, there's a small amount, there's like a type of effect which is being present here. It's like a 3D kind of effect which you can see here. Okay. So the tool that we use to do this is something called as a word art tool. I'll just show you all that in a Word document. So if I open my Word document, I open WhatsApp. Okay, if I open the Word document here, in my insert tab, there is an option here called like a letter A slanted. We call this a word art. So if you click on this word art, you can get different styles. Okay, so that text which I saw there was actually done using this so-called word art only. So using word art, I can make like this a different styles. Like for example, we can include shadows, borders, colors, killer. Apart from just including one color, the border shadows, all those stuffs we can modify here. See, right? So the tool there used is actually the word art tool. Is that clear, all of you? Got it? So that's going to be the word art tool. Normally, if you have the paper with you, really, you might, I mean, like when you get the proper hard copy, it might look a bit more precise than this photocopy version. So that's going to be the word art tool. Writing font size is wrong. Yes, because they're not asking here. Now, if you take what you called bold tool, icon, what do you call it, italic tool, alignment tools, all of them they come under one type of tool. Under what type of tool? They come under category. I said this one provincial paper. Normally, if you take this, let's say bold tool, italic tool, font size, font face, all these tools, they come under one category. What type of category? They come under category called formatting tools. Keep it come category called as text formatting tools. Okay. So in this, so mainly more than using the word text, the word more precise would be formatting tools. So those all come under this category of formatting tools. But in this question, they're asking what is the tool applied to the title. No, so directly what is the tool used. So if they ask what is the text formatting tool used, then we can think of that. But because they have just indirectly what is the tool used, it's better to mention word art than any other answers. Clear? So if you have written word art, you can others are wrong. Yes, others are wrong. So the reason others are wrong only I explained a while ago. Usually for title, word art tool is used. No, not like that. When you look at the title, you might be actually these are photocopy doesn't look so precise. But if you look at this title properly, there's like a small what do you call like a border and inside color is a bit different variation is there. Like if you see the hard copy, you'll notice much more clearer. What should we write if they ask for text formatting tools? For text formatting tools, you can write here bold, then you can write here font size increasing, those two. It has been bold and font size is increased. SR, they are all text formatting tools. Any other questions anyone have there? If there's any questions, drop in the chat. I'm going for the next one. Write four other word processing facilities shown in the above article, which is not mentioned as answer for question number one. Four other word processing facilities. So indirectly they're asking certain other tools we can use, which is not mentioned as answer for the above number one. Okay. So are they are just mentioned four other word processing facilities. They're not being precise. They're not asking about for the tools. Okay, they're asking for the facilities we have. So if you take a Word document, some of the facilities we have, there are one thing you can mention there is let's say mail merge. Okay, you can do this in a Word document. Apart from mail merge, we can also include images, correct? So inserting images, this is another tool, another facility we have. If you take these word processing documents, then yes, we can include clip arts. That's also correct. We can include tables, bullet points, images, paragraph spacing, alignments for Roman number. I'm still in Roman number two, man. Wait, why avasara? Okay. So likewise, you can mention any other facilities we have. It's not you. I mean, I can consider the answers like the text formatting tools also correct, but better if you can write any other facilities we have in a Word document. Animations we don't have in word processing applications. No, we don't have animations in word processors. Spell checking, yes, spell checking. So you can mention there find and replace another. It's like in this question indirectly they're asking certain features we have in word processing application. Like what are the tools we have in application? It's not about what are the text formatting tools. Text formatting tools is one category of tools. Like for example, the alignment tools, then bold, italic, or what do you call it? Let's say the ordered list, sorry, not ordered, bulleted list. All these stuffs comes under this text formatting tools. So you can tell text formatting tools as one facility. Okay, but more than them, they ask me about the different facilities. Like facilities means like features we have. So if you take a word processing application, these are some of the features we have. Okay, so find and replace, and then what do you call spell check, spellings and grammar. It's called. Table is not there in the article name. Wait. They are mentioned in the above article. No, sorry. Wait. I didn't notice this word. Shown in the above article. Wait. In the above article, they not use main words, so you can't use this. You can use this. Clip art and images are the same basically. So tables, no. Have any of the words being underlined? No. If because they have mentioned in the above article, okay, because they have mentioned the above article, more than using what do you call more than mentioning the answer the what answers which I mentioned are in general the features we have in a word processing application, but because they have mentioned about the what do you call in the above article, let's facilitate, let's modify our answers respect to this. Yes, so if you take the above articles the features we can have for example, one thing you can see here, image is being used. So like I'm going to mention there, clip arts and image both are the same, so let's mention clip arts there. Apart from that, you can see here a list. What type of list is this called as? What do you call this list? Yes, it's called a bulleted list. So we can mention there as bulleted list as well. Okay, that's also correct. And then in terms of, let's say, this paragraph, what is alignment used in this paragraph? No, it's actually justify alignment. Huh? Because you notice these are image being used. It's a PNG image. That means it's not a square shape image. It's like a irregular shape image. Okay. So you can see this paragraph is getting automatically, it's going for the next line based on that. Okay. Here there's a small cutoff, I guess, because you can see there is ORD, it should be WORD. So that's a spelling error there. But the alignment used there is actually justify alignment. Huh? You don't have to mention exactly justify alignment. If you even mention alignment, you're correct. So, but I'm going to mention more precisely. Let's say justify alignment. But you can see left alignment as well. That's the first paragraph. Okay. Borders, actually, the border is not like these are border given for our image. Okay. I don't think these are border for the whole page. But mentioning border is also correct. I feel like this border is for our image. Like they have taken a screenshot, no? So I feel like this border mentioned here is a screenshot border. Very good question. Yeah, we mentioned regarding the alignment. And then we could mention about the font size. Indentation, there is no indentation kept precisely unless It look now if there's a proper indentation, yeah, there is no proper indentation. We can see precisely because if you create a list, automatically the indentation happens. Paragraph spacing, yes, we can mention. You can mention line spacing, paragraph spacing. Yes, you can mention them as well. Okay. So cliparts, bulleted list, justify alignment, then left alignment, and let's say increase font size. Font size. Yes. Font style has not been changed. You can see throughout the whole document, it looks like they have used the Times New Roman font. Italic you can mention. You can see here, this word has been italicized. So italic is correct. You can mention italic. Font style, I don't see any fonts that has different style. It looks like the whole document has Times New Roman. So I would not recommend using font style. Any other answers? For the bulleted points, it looks like bold. Yeah, bold you can use. The word first line also looks bold. That word processing software. How do you identify the types of alignment? By looking at the paragraph, you can tell if all are like this, they are something like this. It's going to be left alignment. If everything is going to be towards right hand side, that's going to be like right alignment. If everything is going to be, let's say, like in center like this is center alignment. Normally in word justify alignment will come in left justify. Like there are variations of justify as well. In word, what we have is left justify. So mostly if the line is not long enough, it will be aligned to the left hand side. That time it will be like exact like this. Something like this. So this is how a justify alignment would be. And if you look at this image, you can see it's overlapping like a irregular shape. That's why these lines are not in a straight line, but you can see it's like in a small curvy way. Correct? Okay, so if you had mentioned any of these answers, you're correct. But again, if they had not used this word called, no, here they have mentioned that in the above articles, no. If they had not mentioned this word in the above article, then some of the other features we have in a Word document are these, okay? Is that clear, all of you? Okay, perfect. So you can mention the marks as, let's say, second question, marks each. So you can put 2 marks there. First question, again, you can mention 2 marks. Yes. For Word at 2 marks. How to identify a mail merge? If they have used like, if you feel like there's multiple pages and a text mentioned inside these brackets, most probably it will be worded, but you can't identify worded easily. It should be given as a scenario. So by reading a scenario, you can understand it. Just by looking at the diagram, it's very hard to figure it out. Okay, next. Give me 1 minute, guys. Yes, the Roman number 3. Write the names of the word processing software as example for each, which can be used in smartphones and cloud computing separately. In smartphones nowadays, mostly the ones we have in the laptop, they're available in smartphones as well. Okay, and so tell me some we have in the smartphones. The same thing which we have in laptop, we have there. What is it? Adobe Acrobat is a PDF editor, not a Word editor, not a text document editor. Okay. Yes, we can mention Microsoft Word because Microsoft Word is there in your mobile version as well. Okay. And then for cloud computing, give me an example for cloud computing. The cloud computing is where we have our Google Docs. Exactly. Okay. For cloud computing, we have Google Docs. You can also mention here for cloud computing Microsoft 365 as well. But I would precisely, it's better to use Google Docs and Microsoft Google Docs for cloud computing and Microsoft Word for the installation one. Okay. Canva is not a text document. I mean, Canva is not mainly used for creating, it's not a word processing app software, man. Canva is a designing software. Or we call them as image processing applications. Again, that's unwanted. But it has the ability to create, no. Even though it has the ability to create a Word document, you can't do mail merge, or you can't, let's say, do certain advanced stuff. No, for example, using Notepad. Okay, using Notepad, you can also create documents. You can create type text documents, all those stuffs. But is Notepad considered as a word processor? It's a text document creator, yes. But is Notepad normally considered as a word processor? Can we mention Google Docs for both? You can, but then you have to they have mentioned in the exam question to write the name separately. So then you have to mention what you call phones, smartphones dash Google Docs, cloud computing dash Google Docs. You write two answers because they have asked to mention separately. So even if you're mentioning Word and Google Docs as well, you have, like in your answer script, you have to mention like smartphone dash Microsoft Word, cloud computing dash Google Docs, like that specifically. Okay. No, some yes, not completely some. Okay. Any other questions you don't have here? Again, so if you had mentioned there, so for mentioning one for the smartphone example, 1 mark, and Google Docs example, 1 mark. And then the next question: what are the functions of following shortcut keys? Word shortcut keys. Word the spelling grammatical error is there. So they're asking basically what does the shortcut keys represent? Normally, Control plus P is used for what? To what a document? No, to paste we use V. We use P for what? P is used for printing. Yes, for printing only. To print a document, we use P. Keep in mind for pasting, it's Control plus V. Okay. So CTRL plus V. This is used for pasting. And then what is Control plus H used for? What's Control plus H used for? Yes, Control plus H is used for find and replace. So in your word processing applications, one of the features we have is find and replace. So that is what Control plus H represents. What about cutting? Cutting is Control plus X. Next one. So Control plus X is what? Exactly. It's to cut. What do we use to copy? Control plus what? To copy an item. No, cut is X. Copy. Yes. Control plus C is what we use to copy an item. Okay. And then Control plus Y. Control plus Y is used to redo. Then what is used to undo? Yes. Control plus Z. This is what we use to undo an action. Perfect. So if you had mentioned there, again, half marks each. So total 2 marks. Anyone having any questions there? What is the difference between what and what? Between undo and redo. Undo is going to your previous action, and redo is to go into your future action. Now, for example, let's say you had first of all typed a text, and then what you did is you replaced a specific word in that text to some other words. Okay. Now, if you press undo, it will come back to your previous word. If you press redo, now you undo an action, right? It will redo that same thing. So undo is to go back, redo is to come forward. Correct? Okay. Anyone having any other questions there? Is there any questions? Drop in the chat. Okay. Go for the next one. Briefly explain the use of mail merge in word processing software. Okay. Normally, if you take these word processing applications, there is this feature called as mail merge, right? So mainly we use mail merge in situations where we have to, let's say, repeat the same task again or not. Where do we use mail merge? In situations where there is repetition or no repetition. When there is repetition or when no repetition. Exactly. We use mail merge in situation mainly when there is repetition. So imagine I have to, let's say, give all of you all a certificate for something. And if I'm going to like the same template, if I'm going to again copy paste, and every page, if I'm going to enter your name, it might sometimes take time for me to do make the template, to make the whole certificate. And let's say suddenly there's a change that has to happen. So when there's a change that has to happen, I have to go and make changes, let's say in 60 documents, which will not take time for me. So if I make Word, if I'm using this mail merge feature in Word, what I can do is I can create like a template, okay, and the data I can replace it using a list. So I can have like a, I can have like a spreadsheet created, or we call them as data tables, okay. So I can have this spreadsheet created, or we call them as data source, data list, all them are correct. From the data list or from a list of names, I can replace these values. That's how these mail merge work. So when they ask you to briefly explain the use, you can mention like this. In situations where, in situations where the same document with the same template has to be repeated with different values. Okay, in situations where the same template has to be repeated with different values, mail merge can be used. Mail merge can be used, and using this, we can create a template and populate means generate, okay, and populate the variations from a data source or list. Okay, so you can mention an example when sending invitations, when sending personalized invitations. You can mention when sending personalized invitations. And then another example is in certificates, when preparing certificates. Okay. Is there something like this mentioned in the textbook regarding mail merge? Who's your grade 10 ICT teacher? Can you explain the second part of the answer you wrote? You mean, okay. Those who don't know mail merge, I'll quickly show it to you. I pity the amount of grade 10 thing you'll have learned. I wrote it as a feature where you are able to send a particular document to several people in a personalized manner. Correct. Yes, that's correct. So this is my Word document. Let's say I have a take what do you call a template. For example, let's say a sample message, an invitation. Okay. So for example, it should go like this: Dear Amal, you are, let's say, invited for blah 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 killer, blah 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 killer. This is the invitation I want to send. Okay. So what happens is I want to send the same invitation for Amal, Bimal. No, these are just a small one, but let's say it's a large document. Okay. I have to send the same thing for Amal, Bimal, Chamal killer. I have 4 5 people. I have to send it for. So what I can do is, if I'm going to again and again copy, for example, let's say I'm going to copy this for one page and then go for the next page and paste the next page and modify here, okay, to be mal. Likewise, if I'm going to one pages, I'm going to do this, okay. For example, for each person, I'm going to, let's say, copy the same document, do for one pages. Sometimes when I'm doing some modifications or changes, it might take a lot of time and unwanted effort as well. So what I can do is, instead of all of those bullshits, I can just create a template. For example, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come to this page. Okay. If you see here in the top, there's an option called mailings. If you go for these mailings, there's an option called start mail merge. So I'm going to click on start mail merge. There are different types of mail merge. In your syllabus, we have only letters. So start mail merge, click on letters, and then select recipients, type a new list, and I'm going to create a new list. So by default, they are given you multiple, fields. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to modify the fields. So let's say customize columns and remove. I'm going to keep only the first name, last name field. I'm going to remove all those other fields. If you want, you can add your own fields as well. Okay, I'm going to just keep two fields and delete all other fields. Okay, so I have your first name killer one field, last name killer one field, and you can see here only the two columns now available. Now I can enter data here. So for example, let's say I enter here Amal Pereira. Amal here, let's say surname is Pereira. And click on this new entry to enter new entry. And let's call this fellow as Bimal Silva. And click on new entry and enter the third fellow as Chamal Fernando. Simple. Now here I have only three people, but you can enter many people as well. Likewise, or you can even import from a spreadsheet. Okay. So I have a three list. I've done okay here. It'll ask me to save this list as well. So let's save this as blah blah blah. Okay, I have saved the list as well. Okay, so first of all, I clicked on start mail and click on letters. Second, I clicked on the select recipients and created a new list. So if you want, you can create a list or you can go and select a list as well. I'm done with that. I'm going to do it. Okay, backspace. And I'm going to keep a space here. If you look at this in the top pixel, there's something called insert merge field killer. So if I go and click on this insert merge field, it will show all the fields I have in my data list. Now I created a list a while ago. It had only two. First column was first name, second column was last name. Now if I had more than two columns, all that columns will be visible here. So if I go and click on first name here, see it's showing me first name like this, keep a space and insert merge field last name. Okay. So what happens here is I am typing only one page. It's like a template document. And I have mentioned here to mention the people's first name here, last name here, and the message like this. Okay. Now when I go and click on this, there's option here, finish and merge. Here, if I want, I can create separate Word documents or I can directly generate the PDFs. So I'm going to directly go and click on print document and it will ask me to select all the records or what. No, there was around three records I wrote. No, Amal was one record, Bimal was one record, and Chamal was another record. So if I want, I can take only a specific record, or I can take a range of records, or I can take all the records as well. So I'm going to mention all records here and click on OK. So you can directly connect your printer. I'm going to here generate this as PDF, blah, 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 keep all default, click on OK. And now it's going to save. So let me just give a random name for this document. If I go to my downloads folder, I have that file. Now you can see in one page it's showing Dear Amal Pereira. The second page, Dear Bimal Silva. Third page, Dear Chamal. Now in my original text document, did I go and create these three pages separately? Did I create three different pages? See, can you see like three different pages here? No. What I did is I created here like a template page. So these are a template. So you can see, but it is I have created sample template. And what happens is based on the data available in my list, it will modify these values and I can generate that PDF. If I want, I can generate PDF or I can generate even the editable text document as well. Got the idea? Where we can use mail merge. Yes, those names are those famous people. I just wrote print certificates, invitation, etc. More than mention the word print, make sure you use the word prepare then. Like other and integration skill, that's fine. But they have mentioned it to briefly explain. So it's better if you can. Why is the internet playing the fool today? Okay, okay. So they've asked you to explain it. So because they have mentioned the word explain, it's better without just giving examples only. You can explain it as well. What is the simplest way to explain? Simplest way is use your own words and explain. Like I have used my words and explained here. You got the idea of how mail merge work. No, there is no hard and fast rule. This is how you're explain killer. Is this the way how scammers send the message and how do they get the email account name? That's all I'll teach you in the sixth lesson. Will you be able to do a recap on the lessons? I will be doing it in the class. In the theory class, we'll be doing it right here. How show the whole question? This was the whole question. What is template? Template is like a sample document. I'll explain a class, Sarah. Including, yes. They have not specified what tool for the first one. Give at least half marks, no. Um, there was what is the tool. If there's what are the tools, then even I can consider. Like for example, is means like one tool. So one tool, but again, should I give marks? No. This is just yours. Exam, not a final exam. I mean, Muhammad, we are doing that in the class, man. All the oral questions related we'll do in the class. So like that's like whenever a lesson is done, we discuss all the oral questions relevant to that lesson. So there is no worth of repeating it again here. That's why here I do provincial papers and other papers. Okay. So you can mention if you had explained it properly in your own words. As long as we have the words, as long as you have got your, if someone reads your explanation, if they can get an idea, you're good to go. Okay. So then you can mention 2 marks there. Anyone having any questions there? Drop in the chat how many marks you got out of 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. Mail merge lets you create a batch of documents that are personalized for each recipient. Um, when you use the word recipient, you're talking about the email more than the letter. You can connect to email as well, which is not there in your syllabus. So that's also correct in this. All of you put your marks in the chat. Let's check. Shape. Anyone having any doubts, questions, clarifications you all want to just check? Okay, let's go for the next one then. So this is regarding if there are shortcut keys super for find and replace. What should for find and replace? What should the answer be? I given I mean control plus H. Control plus H is what we use for find and replace. Okay, I'll give you all 10 minutes for this. Start doing time. No, you can. I'll give the prime time later. All of us start doing this question. I'll give you 10 minutes. So basically, at 7 o'clock, I'm going to discuss this. It's time. Yeah, 7. No, separately find replace. No. It's find and replace is one tool, man. It's not two different tools. It's one tool. Discussing at 7 p.m. Quickly do this, all of you. I'm going to put all of your hands down. Once you're done with this question, raise your hands up. Okay. Then they're not asking about a Word document. They're asking about some other scenarios. In Word documents, you don't have it separately. Unless there's something called navigation, which is similar to finding. Anyways, all of you, if you do this question. Send me the question. Let's check. When is the semester? 19th. It's a Monday. It'll be after the science exams, don't worry. So probably it might start at, let's say, around 12:30 or 1. Yes, the poor day. I'll inform the class, don't worry. Long ago, I used to love Poya days. Why now you don't like it because everyone puts an extra class or some stupid thing on that day? Is that why you don't like it? Only grade 11? No, grade 11 and grade 10 separate. It'll happen parallelly, but two different papers. I have fair arguments on why should not keep it on the 19th. I have two options, either on 19th or else on other one is on 22nd. So if I'm going to keep on 22nd, or I mean that any week in that week I can do on like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, anything, any day. But if I'm going to keep on that day, I have to keep in the evening because those are like school days. So rather than doing on the evening, if I do on the poet, it's morning, class. Saturday, if I'm doing, I can keep for the grade 10s. For grade 11s on Saturdays, if I'm doing, the time has to be like, what time can I keep it? What time does the science class is over? 9 to 11, 11 to 1. So I think around 1:30. And even Saturday, I said 1:30. No, I keep on the poet 8, so just come and do the paper and go. I'll let you all know the timings soon, don't worry. Is it okay if you keep soon after science because we have exhibition work at school? I'll let you know about that later. Is it physical? Yes. It'll happen both, but better physical should come physical. One day, one exam. For the exam, again, we'll have to study fully. If you keep on a separate day, then we can give a fullest. I'm still thinking. It'll be either on 19th or that week. I have not still finalized. I'm just checking certain parameters. So once things are proper, I'll finalize it. Do the question quick. You have 5 more minutes. Actually, less than 5 minutes. You mean, are you asking, Amina, are those two words the same? Yes, they are the same. What do you mean here? Y'all can, I can give you all the grade 10 paper, but y'all won't be able to do the grade 10 exam because grade 10 and grade 11 will happen parallelly. Most probably, let's see. Anyways, quickly do this. All of you, give me 1 minute, I'll be back. Here, will be learning that tomorrow. Just give me a moment, I'll be back. I'll just quickly do this question. You'll have 3 more minutes. We have 1 more minute quick. Those who are done, raise your hands in the participant list. Okay, time up. Is there anyone of you all who wants 1 or 2 minutes extra? Let me know through the chat, or else I can directly start. Okay, let's start. Maintaining our supermarket is not an easy task. In buying and selling, a lot of mistakes can take place. So it is decided to create an information system as a solution. Perfect. Give us as to why this is considered as an information system. Okay. Normally, why do you, if you take information system, mainly things. What are the 4 things you can see in information system? If you take an information system, normally there are 4 things you can see. What are those 4 things you can see? Yes. If you take an information system, it will have the feature of input data. It will have the feature of processing data. It will have the feature of output the data. Apart from these three, what are the next feature it will have? Yes, store in the data as well. Okay. So they're asking here why this system is considered as information system. No. So your answer should be as the system can input data, process the data, and output the data or information, as well as store them. We can consider it as an information system. So using these 4 words, you form the sentence, and you can get the answer. Because several components like input, output, and process working together. Is this correct? No. Your answer should have these points. Your answer should have that the system is going to input data. Okay. So a well proper answer might be something like this. As the system may input data, comma, process data, comma, store data, as well as output data, it can be considered as an information system. So as long as you have mentioned those keywords, information system. Okay, so as long as we have mentioned those keywords such as input, process, output, you're good to go. And store. Is that clear, all of you? So if your answer has this what you call word input, half marks. If your answer has the word process, another half marks. If your answer has the word store, another half marks. If your answer has the word output, another half marks. Anyone having any questions here? Anyone having any questions here? So without output, I put final product. Tell me the whole point. What do you mean by final product? The word final product does not have meaning. What if you had input, process, output, storage? Just input, process, output, storage? Tell me the whole sentence, and I'll. Just if you put inputs to process, output, storage, then 0 marks technically, because your point should be that the system can do these stuffs. If you're going to use the word can as well, like if you just mention input, process, output, store, you don't get marks, even though I said those are the keywords. Your answer should explain that as this system. Okay, now there are different types of system: ERP system, information system, and we have what you called like I said, several types of systems. The reason we call this information system is because it's a type of system that can input data. Okay, that can take the data, which means that can take the data from the user and that can process the data. So the system should be able to process your data. System should be able to store the data you entered. System should be able to give you the output. If it can do these four functions, that's what we call as an information system. So if you just mention input plus output story without any proper sentence, you will be getting 0 marks. An information system is an which inputs data, stores the data, and processes data into final product. Into final product. Cut the word product and final result if you mention fine. Or final output is also fine. Because your system will not give you a product. A product is a tangible thing. System will not give you a product. It will give you a mostly information system will give you a value. So you can mention the word result or you can mention the word output. Output information, no. No, it can output data as well. That's why I said data or information. You can put more. Final value is okay too. Yes, value is perfect. Anyone having any other questions there? How about output data? Yes, output data or information. I put a slash here and modified my answer there. What about converting data into information is called an information system? No. Converting data into information is called processing the data. It's not called the information system. Information has its ability. So the reason why we call this system as an information system is because what is this normal system? A system is where multiple components work together to perform a task. That is what you call a system. Okay, system is where multiple components work together to perform a task. So for example, let's say you and your friends are working together as a group to, let's say, for a competition, you can call it a system. But can I call, let's say, if you're going to do a group project, can I call your group project an information system? Let's say you and your friends are doing a group project. It's a system. You can call your work in a systemized manner, killer. Okay, but even though you're working in a systemized manner, like a system, I can't call you an information system. Right? So system is where multiple components are working together, mostly where different devices. An information system is where it's a type of system that can input data, it can process the data entered, that can store the data, as well as it can output the data as information, as data or information. That idea has to be mentioned. An example for output data. Go to your master ID web page. Okay. Go to your profile page. You can see your name. You can see your admission number. These are all data, man. The data you entered when registering for the website. You can see all this data inside the profile page, right? They're not processed. Any other questions anyone have? Anyone having any other questions here? There's any other questions up in the chat? Can go for the next one. So yeah, as long as your answer has these keywords, as also make sure that you mention the word that system that can do these things. So if you don't mention the word the type of system that can do these four functions, then your answer is not precise. Okay, the Roman number 2. Write the 3 advantages of a computerized information system. Okay, so when you take information system, there are 2 types of information system. What are the 2 types of information system? If you take information system, it can be present in 2 ways. What are the 2 ways? Yes, it can be in the form of manual information system, or it can be in the form of a computerized or computer based. Okay, it can be a computerized information system as well, right? So here they are asking, out of them, if we are going to choose a computerized information, what are the advantages we can get? So tell me, what are the answers you all wrote? Let's see. More efficient, correct. High accuracy, correct. Occupies less space, occupies less physical space. You can't just mention the word space. Mention the word as occupies less physical space. More accurate, minimal errors, correct. Time saving. Your answer is not precise. It's time saving where? In which situation? Easy to update the data, correct. Less manpower is needed. No. Mostly it's equal amount of manpower. So mentioning less manpower is needed is not a very suitable answer. Depends on the plot. But in most of the plots, most of the scenarios, it is not suitable. Less time consumption. If you just mention less time consumption, it's wrong. Less time consumption in retrieving data or less time consumption in processing data. That's how your answer can be suitable. Yes. So the answers you all can mention are something like this. One, uh, efficient, which means it's fast. Okay. And high accurate, very high accuracy. Then you can mention requires less physical storage space, not just storage space. Huh? Requires less physical storage space. Physical storage space. And then you can mention, yes, minimal errors. Minimal errors means high accuracy, no? So that's the same point. Then you can mention less time consumption in retrieving data, or else in processing the data. Okay, that's where the time is less. In storing data, mostly it's going to be the same. Easy to update, yes. And then we can mention, let's say, comparatively it has like better security. So you can mention security or secure. Anyone mention any other answers? Isn't less time consumption and time saving the same? Less time consumption and time saving the same. Both the answers are wrong basically. As long as you had mentioned why, where is it less time consumption? So it's like if you take physical and or if you take a manual and computer based, it's in terms of storing the data, it's going to be the same. Sometimes manual is faster in storing data. Okay, but where the time can get changed is, let's say, when retrieving data or when processing the data. Quick process, yes. Got it. Anyone got any other answers? Well organized, yes, that's also correct. But you can organize the manual data as well. So it is not so suitable, but you can consider this as well organized. Cost effective. Cost effect, no. Because it's the same data which you're going to mention here as well as there. There is no difference in between of the data. You're going to store the same data here, and the same data is going to be stored there as well. So cost effective is suitable here. Cost effective is it's a feature of information, not a information system. Okay. Automated in processing. You mentioned can automate the processing killer. You just mentioned automate because all the information systems are not automated. Of me. It's like this. I think there's going to be a reception who is going to take your payments through a bill book, and the same reception is going to take your payments through the system. Here also we need a reception. There also we need a reception. So there is no number of staffs that's going to be changed. Only thing that's going to be changed is the system of how they are going to do the action. That person is going to give you a receipt and do a what do you call a computerized receipt, which is using a computer. But this person, it might what do you call write a bill book receipt. So at the end of the day, both are going to generate a receipt only. So there is in staffs, majority of the scenarios, again, it depends on the plot. So make sure that your answer is suitable for majority of the scenario, like 90% scenarios. Some of your answers there, it's suitable only for certain times. Like only in certain scenarios, that answer is suitable, not in all the scenarios or majority of the scenarios. So make sure answers are like suitable for majority of the scenarios. Clear? So they're asking for 3 advantages. If you had mentioned 3 advantages, you can mention there 3 marks. 3 advantages, right? Yeah. No, don't mention 3 marks. Mention 1.5 marks. Like half marks each. Mention half marks each. Huh? Next, mention 3 technologies that can be employed to collect user requirement when starting to develop the system. Okay, what are the answers? How can we requirements. There's a word for that. It's called fact finding techniques. What are the fact finding techniques we have? Yes, we can prepare questionnaires, correct. Yes, we can have interviews, again, correct. We can observe the current system, so observation, correct. Yes, we can show a demo and ask them their, or let's say similar system and ask their find their requirements. So that's called prototyping, correct. And then we can go and collect certain samples from the office and understand how they record stuffs. So we call them as sample document collection. Sample document collection. So these are some of the methods we can use to find requirements of a respective organization. So we call them as, in general, we can call them as fact finding techniques. But they should have mentioned techniques, right? Not technologies. It's both the same, man. Indirectly, that word means method. So yeah, they're asking about the three techniques that can be employed. These are the things that can be written. So if you have mentioned three answers, again half marks each. In total, 1.5 marks. Okay, next. Suggest a suitable way to deploy the system. Justify your suggestion. Right. Now tell me what how many deployment methods we have. Now deploying means publishing a system. Okay. So what are the okay? We have four deployment method. In what are the four deployment methods we have? Yes. One is direct deployment. Okay. So direct deployment is where directly you're going to ask the, let's say now supermarkets. Sorry, there was a small network issue. I'm audible now, right? Am I clear now? Yeah. Yeah, you're trying to play. Wait. I think Marib is at 740 something. So wait. Okay. So basically, we have parallel deployment. This is where you're going to use the old system as well as new system together. Then we have something called pilot deployment. Pilot deployment is where instead of giving for the whole organization, you're going to give only for one part. For example, imagine if it's a supermarket, we have multiple counters now. So without giving all the counters the new system, you might give let's say only one counter the system. And if that is successful, then we might start giving it for the remaining people as well. And apart from all of this, we have something called phase deployment. So phase deployment is where without giving the whole system at once, we might give parts of the system. Now, for example, let's say inventory management is one. Inventory management means the stocks they have, like the items they might have in their companies. So managing how much of items they have, how much are being sold, how much is available. That's one part of the system. Then apart from that, we have the POS. It's called point of sales. That means they in the reception itself, like in the uh, front itself, they scan your product and generate that bill, right? That's called point of sale. So likewise, if you take this whole system in a supermarket, there might be separate segments. There might be several segments. So without publishing all of them together, publishing them, let's say phase by phase, is one of the answers you can mention. Again, for this question, any of these answers are correct. But your marks is not depending on your answer. Your marks is depending on the justification. You can see here, they have mentioned to justify your suggestion as well. So based on how you justify your answer only, you will be receiving marks here. But compared to tell me, out of these four, what is the most suitable for the supermarket? Unknown. Comparatively, out of these four, what is the most suitable? Yes. In my suggestions, I would tell most suitable is parallel and second is pilot. Okay. Parallel and pilot is the most suggested answers. Okay. So if you're going to say what do you call waterfall is not a deployment method. Waterfall is what do you call developing model. It's called developing and it's called deployment. It's complete dude. These are two different branches of a tree. Don't combine them together. Anyways, because the user is an employee, will get time to train the new system. Yeah. So if you mention parallel deployment, what you can mention here is as users can, what do you call it? One of the answers you can mention is when users start using the new system, if they come across any issues or errors, they can quickly revert back to the old system. Okay. So you can mention like the answer can be precisely mentioned uh, when when arose with an error, can quickly revert to can quickly revert back to the old system. So that's one of the advantage you can mention. Okay. Because the user is an employee, no. Another answer you can mention is no, like what you have some of you had mentioned, so that the users can take time to get used to the new system. The manual system could be used if there is a breakdown in the new information system. That's also correct. Okay. So it's better if you can mention these type of answers. That is, when the new system is broken, we can go for old system. When you have issues in the new system, you can go for the old system. Those kind of answers is better for parallel deployment. And if you had mentioned pilot deployment, then the most suitable answer I would recommend here is what do you call? So we can try with, so we can test with one, what do you call that thing in the supermarket as the place counter, right? So you can test with one counter and based on that, make the final decision, which leads to a better damage control. Okay. So if there's an issue in the system, if you're going to have, let's say, out of four counters, only for one counter, comparatively, there's less damage control. But I mean by damage control is, let's say, if imagine we have put for all four counters and all four counters system has issues, then what will happen? The overall supermarket might be slowing their process. But out of four counters, only if one counter have issues, then as the three counters are functioning properly, the process is going to move on without any delays. But if imagine all four processes are going to be gone for a sixth, then it might affect the whole company's function. Got it? So that's why in pilot deployment we say it's like a there's a better damage control, like it's less damage causing out of all. But yeah, the most suitable is parallel. Second most is pilot. Again, you can mention answer for direct and phased as well. But if you mention direct and phased, your answer should be very precise. So direct and phased is not very suitable for majority of the situations. That's why I not put direct and phased. Clear all of you? Because why I didn't use direct and phased? Because it has more cons than pros. Again, it has pros, but more cons than pros. What's the difference between pilot and phase? Pilot is going to be, imagine like this. I have a complete system. Okay, if I have a complete system only, I can go for direct deployment, parallel deployment, pilot deployment. These are like complete systems. But if you're going to take about phase deployment, it's not the complete system. It's a part of the system. So you might not like publish as a full system at once, only part of the systems. That's what phase deployment is. But in pilot deployment, we have the whole system ready. For example, let's say, imagine we have a system in our institutes. So there is a part of, let's say, marking attendance. There is a part of taking payments. These are two different things. Now, in pilot deployments, when we are deploying it, we might deploy sometimes a complete system, which will have both these features. In phase deployment, first of all, I'm going to what you call deploy the only the attendance marking scene. After like just a couple of months, I'm going to release the payment scene. So you can see without releasing the whole system, I have published first of all the payment system and then the attendance system or vice versa. So that's what phase deployment is. Without doing everything at once, little by little. What does counter mean? When you go for those supermarkets, what you have, where you go and scan your products, that's what a counter is. Anyone having any other questions there? So here also, if you had mentioned what you call an answer with a justification, only if you have mentioned answer with a justification, 2 marks. If you have just mentioned an answer without a justification, 0 marks. What's a supermarket? Kiel Super, Cargill's, these are supermarkets. What is vice versa? The opposite. Turn into an English class. Exactly. I was going to tell it, but I not tell it. Marib is almost Kala. In which city are you in? Isha is at 7:43. Wait. Last one. The manager of a supermarket intended to make popular the business among customers. Suggest him two modern ways to fulfill his idea. Okay. If he wants to make his, let's say, what do you call, if he wants to make his supermarket popular among customers, what are the possible ways he could do it? Obviously, they're asking about advertisements, but they're asking the examples for advertisements. Now, there are old ways of advertisements and there are new ways of advertisements as well. Now, earlier days, mostly how we, I mean, like, no, I mean, earlier days, even nowadays we follow it, but not the modern way they are called. The normal, usual, we call traditional way and modern way. Okay. The traditional way of advertising, okay, the traditional way of advertising is one, what do you call advertising on television? Okay, this is one of the traditional way. But again, that doesn't mean this is wrong. This is not bad. Huh? It's one of the good methods of advertising. Huh? Advertisement on television. Apart from that, what do you call advertising using leaflets? Or we can mention here distributing leaflets in public places. That's another answer. Distributing leaflets in public places. This has been happening since earlier days, but these are not modern ways. What are the modern days we have? Modern ways we have. What about giveaways? Giveaways will not publicize your what do you call business up to a certain level. For example, only if a person knows now. For example, imagine I have started a new company, okay, and I'm going to tell I'm going to give giveaway, but without a person knowing that I'm giving a giveaway, will they be able to what do you call know that I'm giving a giveaway? If I don't publicize it, no. For example, I have told my staffs, okay, if people buy 5 items, give them this item free. I have told all my staffs and kept because they are in the receipt, they are in the counters. But if I had not publicized it, if I had not told it for the local the people, will they be able to know it? No, they will not be able to know it. So our point here is how can we make the people, the general public know, okay, there is a shop like this, okay, and we are going to give giveaways. How can we give that idea for the customers? So main thing is advertising in television and leaflet. These are traditional ways. But if you take the modern ways we have a what do you call the digital marketing. This is where advertising on social medias. Okay, digital marketing means mainly advertising on social media. This is one of the modern ways advertising on social medias. Okay, and then we can mention the next one is something as called as influencer marketing. What I mean by influencer marketing means normally so there are people called as social media influencers. Like for example, it can be celebrities, it can be like actors, it can be there are people. So what we can do is we can go and pay them and tell okay, publicize my what you call content in your channel. So what they will do is they'll go and publicize. They'll go and tell. So recently I went to the shop. They had this blah blah stuffs, and they might start promoting your shop. Like for example, if you're using social media, you'd have seen all these people who do does it. So that's called influencer marketing. That's where what you call you might use a celebrity to tell your product, tell about your product to their viewers, something like that. Okay. Apart from advertising, can we talk about the businessman providing more facilities within the market? That's what I told you a while ago. Now, for example, imagine within the shop, you have put a perfect shop. Now, for example, imagine this is the Gold Road, and these are the main roads. There's like the Gold Road, and these are like some sub roads. Okay, you have started a supermarket here, a very huge supermarket. The supermarket is so huge that no, not up to here. Let's say this you have started a supermarket like this, a very huge supermarket. Huh? It has everything, perfect facility, luxury supermarket, affordable prices, and what do you call? You have giveaways. You have everything is there, but you're not visible for the goal road as well, and there is no amount of marketing. That means you have no part of advertising. Within the shop, you have given several features, several giveaways, everything, but you're not still told for the public there's a shop here. Will you get customers? You're giving discounts, you're giving giveaways, you have everything, luxury, cheap, everything, but will you get customers if people don't know that there is a shop here? No, people will not come. Why? They don't know that there is a shop existing there. So if you want a person to come to that shop, even wherever it is, now if it's in the gold road, at least people might see the board and come. Like main road, people might see a board now. Okay, it's a shop and they might go. But let's say if it's in a like a let's say a bit inner even, sometimes it will be difficult for them to know. That is where you need advertising. That is where you're going to inform the public. There is a shop here. Come. These are the things we have in the shop. Killer. We have to inform the public. So the question he is asking about how can we go and inform the public? That's the idea. So apart from that, there is something called email marketing. Okay, indirectly they are talking about marketing here. In this, forget about the spelling mistakes, man. I'm just you got the point is enough. Okay, so traditional methods are advertising on television and distributing leaflets. Modern ways are like digital marketing, influencer marketing, social, email marketing. These are all the traditional methods of populating your business among customers. Yes, SMS marketing. Then can we give the answer as creating a website and inviting customers? Again, no. Even if you create a website, imagine in your WhatsApp you have only 5 people who can see your WhatsApp status. Okay, so you can if you have only 5 people who can see your WhatsApp status, can you expect 5,000 customers to come? What about allowing trade discount? Again, the same point I told you a while ago. You have discounts here, you have giveaways here, you have let's say perfect features, cheap prices, everything is there in the shop. But without people knowing the features you have, without a person knowing that we have trade discount here, without a person knowing that there is discount, what do you call giveaways here, without their question here is not asking about how can we improve the business. They're not a commerce question, these are IT question. So they're asking here, not how can we improve the business. We're asking how can we inform the customer that there is such a business and this business has these features, this business has this giveaway. They are talking about this communication. How can a customer and a business communicate indirectly? So main answer is social media. If you had mentioned using social media, that's the main one of the biggest answer you have to use. Is that clear? So even if you create website, if people don't know that there's such a website, then there is no worth. Is that clear of your for the idea? Yes or no? And you're clear why I said your answers are wrong, right? The people who said like giving trade discount, all the stuffs. You can just mention your social media. How do you market a website? There's something called SEO. If you're jobless, research about it. That's how you market a website. Getting YouTube sponsorship. No, you need influencers, man, not YouTube. Okay, so yeah, with that, we're actually done with this question as well. So, this question, that's what we discussed. If you have any questions, you can stay and ask. Others, you can leave. Before you leave, let me know your marks. So, here was 1 mark each for each modern way. So, out of 10, how many marks you got? YouTuber like Mr. Beast. YouTubers like Mr. Beast are not called YouTubers. They're called celebrities. There's a difference between a YouTuber and a celebrity. Anyone who puts video on YouTube is called a YouTuber. But a popular person who has put a YouTube video is called a celebrity. That's why I said influencer marketing. SEO, the one which was in the worksheet. Yes. I am a celebrity. Is it? If I tell your name for this whole gang, I'm pretty sure out of, let's say, even 20 students, majority, maximum 5 people, 3 people might know me, man. Anyways, anyone having any other questions? No questions. Today's session feel like it finished so quickly. I don't know why. Okay, anyways, as there is no other question in the meeting, if there's anything, you can feel free to get back to me. What's up? How about Afra? Good, good, good. We can improve. Okay, I'm going to end the meeting. If there's any other questions or clarification doubts, feel free to WhatsApp me and get things sorted.